finally, let me make my comments, please, then you can comment. In terms of communication, all right, when I see a notice in the South Haven Tribune, all right, for a public hearing that says, and then including in that public notice says, all public comments will be accepted, will be heard, I think was the correct term. And I get up here, and immediately I'm limited to 3 minutes, okay? I'm repeatedly cut off, all right? I'm threatened to be arrested if I continue with what I'm saying, okay? And we have a real problem here, all right? Secondly, when you publicly, as you did last night, you confirmed it, you said in the county meeting that this woman is a liar.
I did.
Okay? We got a real problem there. We got a real problem. Because the issue that she brought up about you having meetings in secret, John, you did. I know of one instance you did.
No.
A year and a half ago,
No.
I and my friends, 200 hours, 150 issues with the last zoning ordinance, we presented you, and you know what happened? You didn't deliver it at all. You sat on the telephone, you publicly admitted you sat on the telephone with the consultant, Patrick, okay?
I did.
And you netted him up. You needed to deliberate him, okay? That was a private meeting. You violated the ONA.
No, I didn't.
All right, we're going to move on. Thank you, John.
Okay.
For Grand Junction. Originally, we had sent to the County Planning Commission the rezoning plan for downtown Grand Junction to bring the stuff in compliance. It's currently commercial. And they sent back a sample of an overlay district that they asked that we look at that basically does the same thing. I guess it's just the latest way you do things. Anyway, so I want to make a motion that we send this back to the Planning Commission and ask them to look at this overlay district and make a decision if they want to go with the plan they've got in place now or if they want to redo it with this overlay district.
I'll second it.
Comment?
Any discussion?
Question? Question? I think it was pretty clear last night that they've more or less made that decision that they're going to proceed with the zoning as they had planned it. And the question I had, and for your information, I mean, I recognize the county didn't like that idea. They believed it was spot zoning. And the question I have is that is it prudent for them to ignore what the county is saying? In other words, what does the planning commission here know that the county doesn't know?
We have a new draft that's been updated to change it to Grand Junction for the overlay district that was in here. And this is what we're going to send to them to look at and let them make the decision.
Okay.
So it's only pertinent to Grand Junction, not
Yeah,
the
downtown.
township?
Yeah. Right now, we really have no commercial corridor for anybody for commercial. So. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Yeah.
Just to follow up on the earlier issue of the master plan, just let me make a comment, a recommendation. I personally believe that, and I think Johnny made some reference to DC, things being imposed on people without, this is the way it's going to be, whether you like it or not. That's my firm belief. I mean, I think what we have here is a proposed master plan that's been derived solely by 5 members of the community, members of the Planning Commission. I think they're imposing upon us, imposing that upon us. And again, the real rub there is that it really doesn't have community-wide, there is no community-wide consensus. And the risk they run is that in 2 years when they want to make, some zoning change and they want to reference the master plan as something that has community-wide support, there's going to be a real problem there. The recommendation I have, and by the way, I didn't understand this, but I came to learn last night that the Planning Commission has the sole authority to adopt that master plan. It came as a complete surprise to me. I thought the board, you, had a final say on that. But apparently, in reading the law, you more or less by default have relinquished your right, okay, to have the same in adopting that master plan. All it takes, I think that'd be a very, there is no check and balance here, okay? This is all one-sided, and I think you, all right, should impose your right, all right, to approve that master plan. Let them recommend it, just like a zoning ordinance change. They can't adopt it, they can recommend it, and I strongly suggest, all right, that you have the final say on that, all right? And somewhere along the line here, we need to get community-wide support. I think that's absolutely, I think that's mandatory. Because this is about a Weber, Seaman, et cetera, master plan. It doesn't have community-wide support. All it would take on your part, okay, is a resolution stating that you impose the right, okay, to adopt that master plan. So I strongly recommend you do that. Will you do that?
I don't know what we'll do.
You can't do it now. It has to be done before it's distributed and it's done and
Well, that's not true.
I didn't understand what you said, Karen.
That's not true.
Can you repeat exactly?
you can't do that because the resolution has to be done before it's distributed, and that already has happened
Before the plan was distributed, is that what you're saying?
to all the surrounding communities.
All the surrounding communities got a copy of proposed plan as well as the county planning commission.
So the term proposed is really used out of context.
That proposed land use is a proposed land use. They can't change the zoning in the future if it's not reflected in that land use. Now, if somebody wants to change the zoning next door to you, if you're within 300 feet, you're going to be notified that they're they're requesting a change. There'll be a public hearing where you can come and talk about it. So you'll know about it. It's not, nobody's changed any zoning now. It's just like all the stuff about, we were changing the zoning on the mill. That was never true. That was just contrived.
Dale, it sets the vision, okay, the goals and objectives. They have been altered from what the community specified 10 years
Well, Roger, I'm not going to argue that now.
I'm not arguing either, I'm saying that that's the problem here. I mean, don't, in terms of it can't be done, sure it can't be done.
Thanks for your comment,
Sure it can.
Frank.
Can I ask, might be a stupid question, but if you're not going to make it into law, and they're proposing it, so all this money that we spent for it don't mean a thing, because all it is on paper, and nobody could actually say it's a law because nobody's taking it as a law, but nobody is taking it and saying, well, this is what our township wants. You people up there are our township. The people that were over here are not. The people that made this thing up are not our township.
You need to contact
But I mean, how,
your representative, and tell her you don't like the way the planning law in Michigan's set up.
well,
In other words, taking the court.
No, tell your legislature that you want to.
no, but I don't understand, I don't
That is the rub of
understand
what
that.
you're saying.
Hmm?
That in order to not just let this happen, what you're saying is the rub we need to do. Contact our legislators to let them know what's going on down here.
No, contact your legislature and tell them that you want the planning, any master plan that has to be approved by your township board, not just the planning commission.
It's legislatively across the state.
Right.
You've got to,
But again, when you're, I'm sorry.
Yeah, but it's not approved then, right? I mean, that's the way I look at it.
The planning commission has the authority, the planning commission has the authority to approve it. That's what they were just talking
They
about.
what?
They have the authority to approve the master plan. Okay, I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not going to sit here and argue all this.
why would you relinquish your right to approve the plan, the master plan?
Why is that the way the legislature got upset?
I'm sorry? Why would you
Go
relinquish?
read the zoning enabling act
Hang
and the
on,
stuff
yeah.
that led
Believe me,
into
yeah.
it.
But you have, why?
We have a planning commission.
The question we
Right.
have.
We're going to move on to other public comments.
No, wait a minute.
But I have,
Why would you relinquish the right to approve the master plan? Why would you place it in terms of, in the hands of appointed officials rather than elected officials as you are? Why would you do that?